The seasons do not apologize for the winter. The tree does not apologize for losing its leaves. The person who has suffered does not need to apologize for the years it took to grow. You were not broken. You were in season. You thought you were broken. You weren't. You were being built. And there is a difference so profound, so completely different in what it means for your life. That understanding, it changes everything about how you see what you have been through. Broken means damaged beyond use. Broken means the thing no longer works the way it was designed to. Broken means the end of function, the end of purpose, the end of possibility. If you were broken, you would be done. And you are not done. You are here, reading this, still searching, still trying, still, despite everything, looking for the way forward. That is not what broken looks like. That is what being built looks like. The confusion between broken and being built is one of the most costly mistakes a person can make. Because if you believe you are broken, you stop. You wait to be fixed. You hand the responsibility for your life to someone or something outside yourself. But if you understand that you were being built, you get up. You keep going. You use what happened to you instead of being used by it. This video is about that understanding, where it comes from, what it means, and how the Stoics, who knew more about suffering than most people alive today, used it to build lives of extraordinary quality from the most ordinary and painful beginnings. Here is how you know the difference. Here is what being built actually looks like from the inside. Because from the inside it feels exactly like breaking. What being built looks like from the inside. It feels like falling apart. The demolition of what was not. Working looks identical to destruction. From the inside, the relationships that ended, the careers that collapsed, the identities that stopped fitting. They felt like breaking. They were clearing, making space for what was actually yours. It feels like being tested beyond your limit. The years that pushed harder than you thought you could bear. The seasons that asked more than seemed fair. The nights that lasted longer than you thought you could survive. You thought that was evidence of being broken. It was evidence of being strengthened. It feels like nothing is happening. The long invisible seasons where nothing seemed to be growing. Where the effort produced no visible result. Where you wondered whether you were moving at all. Underground growth looks like nothing from above. The root system being built in those invisible seasons was the foundation for everything that came after. It feels like you are the only one going through it. The isolation of pain. The belief that everyone else has it together while you are falling behind. The loneliness of a struggle that feels too personal to share. Every person who ever built something real went through exactly this. The isolation was not evidence of failure. It was the private season of construction. The fire that melts butter hardens steel. The same heat, the same pressure, different material, different result. The question is never what happened to you. It is what you are made of. Marcus Aurelius spent his entire reign being built by circumstances he did not choose. Plague, war, betrayal, grief. He could have seen each of those as evidence that the universe was against him, as proof that he was not equal to the life he had been given. Instead, he wrote, "What injures the hive injures the bee." What happened to his empire happened to him, and what happened to him made him who he was. Not despite the difficulty. Through it, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Epictetus spent his entire building season in slavery. 20 years. Not 10 days of discomfort, not a difficult year. 2 decades of his life owned by another person. And in those 20 years before he taught a single student, before he opened his school, before a single senator sat at his feet, he was building the philosophy that would outlast every emperor who ever lived. He did not know that was what was happening. He just kept thinking, kept choosing, kept deciding what his circumstances could and could not take from him. Seneca's building season was 8 years of exile on a barren island, 8 years of being nobody, of having built everything, reputation, career, influence, and watching it stripped away. And in those 8 years, writing to no audience, with no guarantee of return, he built the letters to Lucilius, the most personally honest philosophy ever written. The exile was not what prevented his greatest work. The exile was what produced it. It is not that I am brave, but that I know what is not worth fearing. 3 truths about what it means to have been built, not broken. 3 things that change how you see everything that has happened to you. And the hard seasons built what the easy ones never could. Comfort produces comfort. Ease produces ease. But difficulty, real difficulty, the kind that asks more than you thought you had, produces something that cannot be manufactured any other way. Character, depth, the unshakable knowledge of what you are, capable of when everything is against you. Marcus did not develop his philosophy in the comfortable years of his reign. He developed it in the plague years, in the war years, in the grief years. The hard seasons were not interrupting his development. They were his development. The same is true of every hard season you have lived through. It was not happening to you. It was happening for you whether or not it felt that way at the time. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. What you lost was making room for what was actually yours. Every loss has a clearing function. The relationship that ended made space for the one that was real. The career that collapsed revealed what you actually wanted to build. The identity that stopped fitting showed you who you were. Not, which is the first step toward discovering who you are. Loss is not subtraction. It is renovation. It removes what was not yours so that what is yours can be seen clearly. Epictetus lost everything the world calls valuable: freedom, property, physical wholeness, and discovered the one thing that cannot be taken: the quality of his own mind and character. What he lost was never the point. What remained when everything was stripped away was the point. That remainder is who he actually was, and who he actually was changed the world. Seek not the good in external things. Seek it in yourself. 3. You are not the wound. You are what grew from it. This is the most important shift. The wound happened. It was real. It left a mark. But you are not the wound. You are the person who carried it and kept going and built something in spite of it, or because of it. The scar is not the story. The story is what you did after the scar. Seneca wrote letters about joy and freedom from an island of exile. Marcus wrote about gratitude and acceptance in the middle of plague and war. Epictetus taught about the power of the human mind from inside the experience of slavery. None of them were defined by what happened to them. They were defined by the quality of their response to what happened to them. You are not your hardest season. You are everything you chose to do while living inside it. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. You are not broken. You are in the building season, and building seasons are not comfortable. They are not linear. They do not look like progress from the inside. They look like falling apart, like failing, like being left behind, like being the only one who cannot get it together. But look at what the building season produced in Marcus, in Epictetus, in Seneca. Look at what came from the plague years, from the slavery, from the exile. Look at what was built in the hardest seasons. And tell me those seasons were not worth living through. Your hardest seasons built you too, every one of them. The ones that broke you open revealed what was inside. The ones that stripped everything away showed you what remained. The ones that pushed hardest built what the easier ones never could. You are not the product of what happened to you. You are the product of how you chose to live inside it. And that product, the person standing here, still going, still searching, still refusing to stop, is not broken. You are being built, and you are not finished yet. If this found you today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for one video a week and drop a comment. What was your hardest building season? And what did it build in you? I read every single one. See you in the next one.